cute.
Oh, I just started.
At least it's a boy.
Well, I can always cut. I can download it and cut it up. I have so many things to put on YouTube. The bridge story.
I thought it was a bigger one. Because I have a you know,
We might actually.
if you truly no, it's just one.
I think we have this.
So, did you hire
Dr. Rabbi,
Dun, dun. Left guys. How much? Marla, how you doing? Looking good.
Too many bees in Buffalo.
Looking good in black.
Too many bees in Buffalo.
Oh, you decide, Jeff? I mean, there's a
Hi, Marla.
that was a bit of a more Arel than Jeff Marla.
Hi.
Party. And there's Sarah. Okay. Oh, there's Moshe. Why can't we get Moshe Simpson on the same page? Hi, Moshe. Hi, Moshe Lee. And Devorah. Hi, Bounce. Where's he go? Arel is busy. Sarah, we can't see you on the same page. Oh, there they are. Okay, now we got both kids.
And now we own our own building.
Moshe's got his glasses.
That's Jacob's right across. That's right.
It's a boys' club. Lana.
Oh, Amy, Robert here. Yeah, Amy. The bees are right.
Well, you know, at the restaurant. Yeah.
Look at him, he's performing.
A B8 not my.
So, her husband, Will, her husband, he's performing. We actually look like we're really related right now. That's crazy.
I know, I did it for you, Marla.
Right, and it feels good, right?
Oh, yeah.
You see the people really, you know. Oh, she's great. She's great. But
what a story.
Well.
Yeah.
What a connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And the rabbi we hired.
I love the idling. Marcy? I really like you love this stuff.
No, I just
It's just our
so jumpy.
it's just our little this is the whole crew. And sometimes Sarah's and
Oh, there's Ginat.
oh Ginat.
Wow. Good thing we did the Zoom. Cool.
That's right.
That was going wild.
Yeah.
be comfortable?
We don't have our stick as it.
Yeah, are we ready now?
I think it's Marla.
Okay, no, obviously.
I think it's remote.
All right, I think we're ready to gather.
Okay.
We're so lucky to have such beautiful weather here today. And just to be together during this time. I know how important Melva was to the family and how dear was. I've heard people coming from Michigan, from Atlanta, from all over, just to be here today. And what an honor and a tribute. This is a very important moment for the family where we gather to be here at the gravestone. This is where it really feels real. We were here at the burial, but there wasn't that permanent structure. So we come together in what we call an unveiling, which is actually a very new ritual in the Jewish community, only about 150 years old. And it's a way of marking kind of a year of passage. One part of the grieving process is over. And now this permanence that we know Melva is not with us anymore. And that's really hard. But we want this space for her to be a tribute and for when we come to visit her to have joy in our hearts and love. And we want to remember this and not be afraid to come here. So we do it together. I think it's very meaningful today to be together in that way, to unveil it, to show it together what it is. So the first thing we're going to do is actually to take off the veil so we can all see it. Then we'll have an opportunity to share some reflections. I know Michael said that he wanted to share some, but if others want to share, I usually say, how have you been missing her over this past year? Where has she come? We believe the soul is with us now and that she has been present in our life. So how has she been present in this time? And then we're going to say the traditional prayers that we said at the funeral. And we have the rock the place, which is our oldest ritual. Before we had gravestones, we just had piles of rocks. And that was our way, kind of our connection to our ancestors. So maybe the children should, do you want to go unveil it? Who should do the honor?
You just take it off.
Yeah, it's just a string in the back.
Wait,
She survived so long and she had,
You got one more. Go ahead, get in there, John.
she survived all these years and she had 3 boys. That's incredible. 4. Okay.
Yeah, Richard's not here.
I called Rick. Rick sends his love. He's been calling us constantly. Yeah.
Oh, that's very hard during this time. And so here we have the plaque for Mogerman, Melva, 1926, 1920, 5687 to 5781.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Maalua,
Melva.
Melva. Oh, there you go, Melva. But
Bernard.
Bernard. It's like trying to read the college sweatshirt.
That's right. That's right. Transliteration.
So Michael, if you want to start us off, and then if other people want to share. When do you stand out? So
I'm standing where I am.
Okay. Melva will be happy.
Such a nonconformist.
So you know, I may not visit here, but you're in my heart. I've come to appreciate how fortunate to have felt. I had no idea this was going to happen. Love and security is priceless. Monsieur Lavia. Feel free and warm.
I thought of a couple things I just wanted to share. You know, she passed away December 13, 2020. And you may notice that it's well over a year ago. And in the long tradition of the Alt Mogerman end of the family, it's taken us some extra time to accomplish an Unveiling. And so we've had extra time just to reflect. And I'm glad Michael became somewhat emotional just to try to save me the trouble. But a life that has spanned over 9 decades doesn't need to 2 words today. And especially one so vibrant. Now, our father, Arthur, he was the ultimate provider and sent 4 sons to college and medical schools. And the 2 of them together just provided a childhood of immeasurable happiness. We are just so thankful. Melva had her firstborn, me, when she was 25 years old. Within 7 years, 3 additional sons. And so the day-to-day child rearing really fell to her. It took its toll. Beyond that, she was always surrounded by an immense circle of relatives and friends, a vast number of friends. I have one friend now in Pennsylvania who's a little bit like it, but still, she had just such an array. You know, by the time she went into Canterbury Woods and she was around 90, you know, she learned how to drive as a teenager. And one of the first things she did was work for the Alt cleaning company started by Bernard and his brother, Bernard Alt and his brother, and drove for them. And when she went into Canterbury at 90, drove her own car there. And by that time, what was happening though is that this vast circle of people were passing away, so that she started to become relatively isolated. By about 94, when she passed away, eyesight was starting to fail, and vision was starting, and hearing was starting to fail, so that she was kind of physically isolated. And then what was hugely unfair was the pandemic. And so there were no visitors. She passed away in relative isolation. The only positive, the only triumph is that we're here today celebrating her life. And we are just so thankful and so deeply appreciative. Thank you, Mother. And that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, I'm the youngest, you know, and I've always been so lucky to have my three older brothers, you know, so that I've really never been alone, you know, and in that way, you know, not afraid, you know, and even now I feel, you know, safe and protected, you know, with all of you and here together. You know, I think the living tribute is here now, you know, minus Rick, you know, but Rick is, I know, just talking with him, and, you know, that her sons, you know, she was obviously very dedicated and committed to all of us. But then all the rest of family, you know, I think, you know, my Melva at her best, you know, mom at her best was when we were all together, you know, for Thanksgiving and events, you know, on Leicester, really, the dinners, you know, and all that, and bringing people together. And, you know, sad that, you know, Barb and Nick aren't here, you know, and you know, Rob as well, and Paula, but just that family and friends, you know. So, you know, two of her good old friends, you know, are here, you know, and we talked to, you know, May and Tilly, you know, hoping they could be here as well, and Harriet, you know, and that was her heart, you know. It was family, it was friends, it was bringing people together, and so here we are, you know, and now able to, you know, celebrate that, you know, celebrate life, and I'm glad you're all here, you know. Thank you all for coming, you know, and I'm glad too for those who planned it out, you know, for Marla and Jeff, I think, bringing this together, you know, for the two families.
That would be for Melva.
Yeah, and the reunion. So thank you, Marla, you know, and thank you all, you know, and Rabbi for, you know, helping us to take this next step, you know, to next step forward. So she's in our hearts, you know. She's actually in a lot of us, you know. There's a lot of genes here. There's more alt genes here now, you know. I think it's amazing that you know, that living part is really here as well, but the loving part, you know, in our hearts, and the encouragement, do your best, it's okay, you know, and I'll share that with me forever. So thank you all.
Thank you.
I think I know now longer than even a relative.
Right.
I think so too.
I think
When
that's
I was
true.
a very young child, I remember very distinctly going, because I lived over in the east side, and so did they. and they had a cleaning store on William Street, and my family had our store on Hickory. And I remember going over there to play with Melva, and we had a little tea party. She had a tea set, and we had tea. We had a wonderful little. I was only about 6 at the time. So, and I have known her all these years. We became closer friends because we moved out in one part of Buffalo. She moved to a different part of Buffalo. So I didn't go anywhere with, I didn't grow up seeing her very much. But we got back together again at college. And we were in the same sorority together. And we became very close friends again. And I've loved her every minute. But I have to tell you, when she got married, I was at the wedding, but Arthur was going to medical school, and she would be up at midnight cooking up for when he was coming home, just to to have everything ready. And we worked for the county at the time. We were caseworkers for the county, and it just everything about it. My husband and Arthur were just great friends, and as well as with Melva. We had a couples club together. We had our lunch group together. We just were very good friends, and I loved her very much. And thank you all for letting me come and speak. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you, Pauline.
Oh, these boys were terrible. She had 4 of them. I only had 3. But I worried very much about them when they were on their motorcycles across country.
We went over to the Rogers, the 4 of us.
Yeah.
We straightened up.
Anyway, hello, Melba. Okay, that was it. I love
You know,
Your oldest and dearest.
I can-
oldest friend.
I can remember a dinner at your house.
Oh, okay,
The table in the kitchen spread out,
right.
and there was a discussion of how long will food last in the fridge. She said a week. You said 2 weeks. That is stuck with me. I thought 2 weeks. Some things do. Some things do.
Look at you. You see my aide here, my loving aide. She hates it if I leave anything for any time. I say, but I'm always button
Yeah.
and I'm still alive.
You know, that's always been the rule. Whatever goes on here, everybody is still okay. Roll with it.
Her second oldest friend. After all these stories.
She's a baby.
And that's what they call her in the club, in the Lunch Punch Club. They call her the baby of the group. It's so funny.
I asked her, I said, Margaret, what the heck are you doing with us old people?
It was Melva that brought me in. It was, all of you were just as lovely, but Melva was the one, the salt and the pepper. And for 60 years,
Right.
we had a friendship. I remember all the boys sitting at my table for break the fast.
Yes.
And I remember all the boys when we got our first boat, we had a little boat, and they were all sitting there with their little Navy caps on, and it was a stormy day, and I thought, oh my God, they'll never come back.
We're going down.
We're going down. It was something else.
Yeah.
But and those happy days on the boat.
But Arthur and Paul were intrepid.
That's true. They were a twosome. They were really very close.
And whenever I saw Paul at the office, I think he kept 20 people up waiting in the waiting room.
Paul?
Paul. So he could talk to Pauline.
There you go.
There you go. He talked to his friends, and
That's right. They can wait.
everybody else could wait, and they did.
I
Nobody
know.
walked out. Everybody wanted to wait. But those happy days on our boat, on the Happy Days boat, and the lovely satyrs at Melvin Arts, it's just
A rich life.
a rich life, a rich
Are you
life.
listening now?
Oh, yeah.
Every word.
And she is sorely missed and will always be missed and will always have.
Amazing.
Yes.
Gentlemen, excuse me, but I'm very embarrassed. I just see rocks there. My parents are just 2 blocks over.
You want to get closer?
I'm going over there. And we just have a tiny little stone to put on. I didn't find any rocks.
I've got tiny stones.
Oh, no, she's talking about the big rocks that are on top there.
You know what
The
the good
boulders
news
are on top.
is?
We have little
She knows.
It sort of makes up for any time we got a stone age.
Okay, I'm going to take this a little bit on a different path. I'm Marla Alt. I'm one of the younger cousins. Auntie Melva, who we love dearly, definitely loved all of us very much. I want to talk about their family as siblings. Originally, most of us know they were 5 siblings in their house growing up with their parents, Jeanette and Bernard. And I never really thought about it until today, but that had to be some wild household because my dad was the oldest and he would always say his mom would always complain that she couldn't keep him in sneakers because he was always running. So he set that high energy standard. And I think it, carried on to each of his siblings. What I know from them as a family is that they really had deep and dear love for each other. And we all thought that was the norm. Then you get out in the world and you realize it's not the case. And that siblings really, in some cases, don't get along and don't have positive things to say. And in our household, we weren't privy to those things. We were taught that our family is our blood and that we take care of each other. And that was really my dad's legacy. He led that through an example as being the oldest child of 5. And he always was there for his siblings. He always took care of them. He always loved them. And his greatest pleasure, as those of you who know who were together with him and his siblings for family occasions, that's where they all shined the most. Whenever you looked around the room, everybody was smiling, laughing, happy. In Auntie Evelyn's case, it was, what was it, everybody? What was she known for?
Hugs.
Hugs, hugs, and more hugs. And then
10-minute hug.
It's true. They really all lit up.
they lit up, and that was special, and that's what that was unique about the Alt Mogerman connection. And then they had the love for singing, and we all know that singing
Allison, it's not working. Come on, let's put it on.
Vas-y, là, j'en mets un clou.
You're not here now. Mise po.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Hi.
Grandpa Jeff.
Hi, Arlie.
The video. Aurelie, what are you doing? Eating your yogurt?
Aurelie, the mama Shaltion David, the Chaneli. The mama Chaneli.
Ginat mama siya siya David sa Chanel.
You're so cute.
יותר מדי.
תגיד לה, היי.
אתה רוצה לפגוש את גינת? אתה רוצה נלך לארץ ישראל לגינת? לא, יפה וידאו, לא הבנתי. Where's the video?
What's going on here? No. I don't know what's going on.
תקשיבי, את כופרת.
זוהרה, את לומדת יותר מדי מהאחות שלך, שנלי. לומדת יותר מדי משנלי.
את חופרת לי.
רגע, את רוצה לשמוע עדות שלך בנו?
Showing everybody, אתה רואה לכולם?
Whoa, my hair.
Oh, that was fast.
מהר, תעשה מהר. תעשה מהר, תעשה מהר.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Hi, Jeff. Is it just the three of us?
Yeah. I think so.
No, there you go, I'm joining back. I'm joining back.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, already.
Okay, we're back.
Do you think if we get off and link back in, she'll redo it for Bubbie's? Then
Here we go. She's back on.
Allison's still on?
Yep.
Oh, she
Yeah,
just
Melissa just logged in as Allison.
Oh, okay.
Okay, everyone mute yourselves.
We also have some really great poker games.
Yeah.
At the dining room table.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it didn't have to be everybody just have fun and participate. So a lot of good, warm memories that she created. So
That's started. I'm glad you mentioned the tea party that you play, because a lot of times what you play grows into who you become. I think those tea parties really resonated with Melva. Because
It was so funny.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the practice. Our memories are we go and it's all set up. And instead of play tea party, we all had family dinners for any reason. And we would go and be together, like we're saying. The other part is we would play hide and seek.
oh yeah.
Everywhere in the house,
Everywhere in the house.
but it was
In
with
every house.
it was with abandon. We couldn't play with abandon in our house, but at the Mogermans, it was wild. And we knew it. We knew that the culture of the Mogerman house is different from the culture of the Alt house.
It's like Marla and I were playing with abandon in the old house as well when all the cousins were around. But you're right. I mean,
Yeah, they
I
were
can
just
recall
Sherwood deciding it's too much abandoned. On the top of the stairs of the basement.
So that was really what we're saying. It's the foundation of coming together
and as we know, post-pandemic, physically, for many reasons, not just Passover, not just New Year's, there was Cousins Club. What was that? That was just come together, cousins. That's it. That's the mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge summer picnic they organized.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of organization, a lot of levels. It was third cousins, fourth cousins, sometimes first cousins. It didn't matter. And I have to say, last night, Carol and Michael, you carried on that tradition
Yay.
in Buffalo, bringing us together in a beautiful setting. And it was very reminiscent.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, family.
Priceless. Yep.
I don't know why, but I also want to share that with Arthur. Everybody's in the waiting room. Go with my dad. Back door. See you right away.
Yes.
I thought it would be nice.
Always. Tribute. I feel very unique to be able to observe a lot of love there. In honor of Melva from Proverbs of Eshet Chayil. A woman of valor, who can find? She is more precious than fine pearls. Her husband trusts him, so he lacks nothing. She does him good, never harm, all the days of her life. She perceives that her labor is rewarding. Her candle burns on into the night. She reaches out to those in need, extends her hand to the poor. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she faces the future cheerfully. She speaks with wisdom. The law of kindness is on her lips. Her children rise up and bless her. Her husband sings her praises. Many daughters have done valiantly, but you excel them all. Amen. We're going to offer her the Yom Alei Rachamim. We know she's at rest and having a great time with her relatives up there. But we pray that there's nothing that is holding her back, that she feels only peace about her life, and all the stories that we've shared reached her, and that she's feeling Gan Eden. Yom Alei Rachamim Shochein Bamromim Amse Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Ashchina Im Kedoshim Utarim Kezohar Rakia Masirim Et Nishmat Melva Bat Bernard Shalcha Leolama Bal Harachamim Yasireh Beseter Knafav Leolamim Vitzror Bitzror Chaim Et Nishmata Adonai Hu Nakalata V'Tanuach B'Shalom Al Mishkava V'Nomar Amen.
Amen.
Passionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to the soul of Melva Mogam and Melva Bakbanar, who is entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in the shadow of your wings. Let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance. May she rest in peace. And we say,
Amen.
and we'll offer the mourner's Kaddish. We have been saying throughout this year, and we'll say, this is a prayer that has been said for generations in her family. And we offer her this tradition that will extend for many years as well. Not just now, but also in anniversaries and holidays and important occasions. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. V'yalma dibrach v'yirtei v'yamlik. V'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. V'agalav v'yizman kari v'yimaru. Amen. Shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'meo maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei d'kudashah brich. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Shushkata Venechamata, Damiran the Alma, Vibrami. Hey, Shalom Rabbamin Shemaya. Hayim Alena Bial Kol Yisrael Vimramin. Ose Shalom Vimrama. Huya Shalom. Alenu Bial Kol Yisrael Bial Kol Yoshvei Tevel Vimramin. May God grant peace to Melva and Arthur and to the whole Mishpacha and to the whole world. And we say, Amen. And we have a tradition now, again, of placing stones, big or small. It can be fun. You have to all fit up there. And that's the way of saying you love you. Thank you. I want to take one more.
Bubbie bones.
That is right.
No, before they had
That
tombstones.
is right. That's not.
Who said that?
That I don't know where I got that from.
Really?
Yeah, I googled it after.
Oh,
And actually, it's supposed to. I don't know. The good down and the bad out. It's one explanation I get, but ultimately, it's just what you said. It's tradition. We've been doing it for hundreds and if not thousands of years.
I heard 150.
It's like Pavlov.
Since we do have a little time before my mom's unveiling, I think we should walk down to Auntie Evelyn. Auntie Evelyn is at the end.
Get some hugs.
Okay. Do you remember the hugs?
Melva, yeah.
Right.
It's fun. Oh, I want one too. Oh, they'll find one. Thank you.
Yeah, my girlfriend is Nina Auntie Evelyn. And so loves to laugh a lot. It's really funny. They were giving it. Were they giving it? The givens gave it. They give the doctor everywhere. The givens gave it. The givens gave it. Right. They saved their doctor from the mausoleum.
Wow, where's mom? Where's mom?
Melly.
That's what I thought. I know we're going to Melva. Or Evelyn.
Hi, Shiley. Oh my gosh. Marley, I have to see Shiley. She is wide awake. Oh, there we go. Okay.
She is wide awake, ready to
Yeah. But tagi shalom na tata. Already. The whole time he was going Savta. And oh my god.
Yine Savta, batırın.
Yine Savta.
Height in the camera. There you
Okay, it's too hard. It's too hard for him.
go. Buena, Simba. Okay, Simba. Go, Simba, run.
What?
Okay. You're running around, Simba.
We're doing Bubbie at 10:30 if people need to go to the bathroom or anything.
Okay.
Now we're just going to Auntie Evelyn.
Come on, Simba. Let's go, Simba. Join the roundabout. Let's go. Rendezvous. Come on. Put that.
Everyone's coming.
So funny. Good. Good. Here we go again.
What's your last name? So Auntie Evelyn, I believe. I mean, Evelyn. Right here. 1999.
So bad.
This is your friend?
Take it over.
She's smiling at you, baby.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. That was sad. That was really a waste.
Yeah, different was a good word.
Too long.
Yeah.
Right
I
arm.
remember that for sure. I always felt super connected to her. She was such a people person.
Marcy, she was.
Oh, he was 63. Yeah, he was the youngest one.
Yeah, but she
was the first one.
his was like, you know, a fluke thing.
Yes, it wasn't
Uh,
though. You know, my dad before when we came back here, and right after the funeral, we went to the house. He had open heart surgery.
No.
Yeah.
What?
He was in the hospital for a month. He told us all that he was going to Atlantic City. He was in the friggin' hospital for a month.
But he must have told my dad the same thing. you
Yeah,
think,
nobody
right?
knew. We found
Wow.
out when after my 2 weeks before he was in Hawaii. The day we got back from Hawaii, he died.
With Brian.
With Brian.
Yeah. Joking on a piece. I couldn't even strip him off the fucking phone.
It's an alphabetical. It's all alphabetical. It's all alphabetical. I wrote it down. Absolutely adamant about enunciation, appreciation.
It's just what the woman see. It's so funny.
He knew. Dad knew he was good.
What's the other one? Oh, no, the other one is a little anthology for 3, but they're more emotional. I love this one. Technological tendencies, talking Turner timeless television. Fine, everything else.
Yeah, Brian.
Story. But there's so much to understand something. Absolutely adamant about enunciation, appreciation. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna be a big and good, better than a Buffalonian blizzard. Clean counter, clean cabinets, can't cats, can't come close. Dentals don't decay. Definition of dental medication. That's not my thing. Obedient, easy going, doing. Phyllis, fixing. I'm not gonna read something amazing. Fixing pleasers for her family and all things. Gives gratitude for God's great gifts, grandchildren, groceries, and glories. A Kevin in her heart, hair heightened for holy holidays. Don't want to know the whole thing now. The debate's real.
Because he got it all in.
Yeah. She didn't read it. She didn't even read it. When I sent it to her, she's like, I didn't understand it. And then I pointed it out to her. She's like, oh, it's alphabetical. Like 2 years later.
I had it.
We all brought one with us. You should have asked them. I'm gonna send this to all groups. Technological tendencies talking to her. Of course, mom got one. The best of us, you know.
Marcy.
Yeah.
So Evelyn was at our house for like Friday night dinner.
Yeah.
With her Jerry.
Yeah,
was it,
right,
right?
Jerry, yeah, Jerry.
And there was they were discussing the word redundant with different opinions. I said,
I know.
Let me go get it.
If they had everyone on
Yeah, no
Zoom.
Google.
We didn't have phones then.
No, it's on you. Well,
Are you going to?
no, it's on.
Oh,
It's on you.
This is the link for your mother. She wants to watch on Zoom. Yeah.
We are recording it, so we can send it to her. How was your drive?
It was good.
How long does it take?
We left at 6:30 this morning and we got in just over about 9:15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
The border was about a half-hour wait.
Oh, so adds time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it was smooth sailing.
Good. Hi, guys.
How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you. You too. It's been a long time. Time's like flies. It's crazy.
Fortunately, we're all keeping in touch.
I know. So when I heard you guys are coming, I was so happy. Maya was in charge of keeping us all together.
Great to see you again.
I saw you. I'm like, who is that? For a minute, like, you know, I haven't seen you in a long time. You know? Wedding video. You know, that was good out there to Zoom, but
Right.
Yeah.
So when I changed out the bottom, I caught my.
The drive was easy.
I thought he looked familiar. I turned.
You just said the same thing.
And then I said, Jerry, oh yeah, it's that guy.
We came to Brooklyn. I would assume they're together. Our neighbor across the street had one of the.
Oh, we did, yeah.
You know, like, it was so funny, you know, like, this reminds me, I was like, oh, that guy. Remember to leave with Santa Claus? There's that guy again.
The spirit.
Because she saw like outside people's house, Santa Claus here, and then we went home across the street. Someone had Santa Claus on their front porch, and she was like a little kid. She goes, "There's that guy again." So cute.
The winter garden gnome.
Yeah.
Until after second grade that
Those songs aren't about us.
I got in trouble because I remember being in like kindergarten or first grade. God, there is no Santa Claus. You people are crazy. I had to remind somebody the other day. Roses are reddish, violets are bluish. If it wasn't for Jesus, we'd all be Jewish. Like, Jesus was Jewish. He's a really good carpenter too. Summertime, and I'm in the middle of jingle balls playing
No.
in
Yeah,
like
yeah. In Israel? Oh my.
Was it in Israel?
Oh, my.
Right. It probably had like Oh, 10 different songs, and they had it on the ride.
It was the ride.
There were no words, just the song. And I'm like, kidding me. Finally, America hearing Christmas carols, and I hearing a Christmas song.
Me and Alex start complaining. They start in Georgia. They start playing that crap in September and October.
Yeah, do Thanksgiving, Halloween. We went to Tops and kind of candy, and I said, it's October.
Here comes the guy. Is Rob in the raw right now?
How was it?
Oh, the mashed potatoes. Hi. Good to see you again. So happy you guys are here.
Did you catch that tumble on the screen?
I don't know who tumbled.
So it was like special for me. I mean, directions? Or
I don't think I didn't see. Like I sprained my ankle, covered in
Been a long time. Nice.
I'm not sure. I was too busy saying hi to everyone. It was in the direction though. I didn't even see. I don't think most people saw. That's okay. Aww.
I can feel that I'm not.
I heard I made a great actress. I'm not sure. It's recording, so we'll look back later.
One of the role plays.
It's the first time my watch ever asked me. It looks like you've had a hard fall. No way. You need emergency SOS. Wow. I've fallen before, skate, whatever. Wow. Well, that's amazing that it's on your watch. Hello, everybody. I'm so ashamed. Hello, how are you? Hello. Okay. How are you? That's beautiful. This little bag, I can't believe how any hundreds. So there's like this comedic actress who would always do the crazy ball. You handled it really well. Was there some like elegance to it?
Yes. You didn't roll like I do when I say
ballet?
When I fall, you should roll.
One of my shoes came the Velcro opened up. Yeah, or I turned over and I don't know what. How do I choose my rooms? Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad someone's calling me. Provide some detail. I fell, but I'm okay. Well, it's so good that you have that on your watch, though. Wow. I'm gonna make sure my mom has that on her watch. Okay, well, I don't have roaming, so I'm gonna have to roam.
Oh no.
I have to I'm just gonna say hi to you separately.
Yeah, we drove, we stayed. Hey there. That's okay. I'm strong, but smell isn't everything.
And you can say hi to everyone here. We got Benor and Alana are on the phone, and the Jeff and Gina. Hello. Yeah, I just have everyone on so they can be in the loop, you know, so they feel like they're here. Yeah. I know. Everyone wishes they could be here. Yeah, thank God. Running around.
Yeah, so you're keeping busy still?
Yep.
Yes.
Busy, you know, making cakes.
Yes, you're baking away.
Yep. What about you guys?
We're only halfway. I like punishing. I need good customers.
You got good customers here. We always have. Benor and Alana are like an atomic fusion. Yeah, one time he says, "How you guys at their wedding weekend?" We always quote it. Atomic fusion.
When you get a relationship that's powerful, it's not just energy, you know, chemistry. It's atomic fusion.
You had the best one, the best line, as always.
Only for special audiences.
And how's your summer? Good?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we have a cottage, and so, but June was cold, so we didn't go too much because it's not heated. I mean, it's not winterized.
Oh, really?
It's only for summer.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. Yeah. So now you've been out there. Do you go swimming?
I don't like swimming unless the lake is 80 degrees.
And that's hard to get.
And it's one day a year. I haven't got that day yet.
Okay, you got a little more time.
Georgie likes swimming though.
Oh, okay. She's swimming. Yes.
Oh my God, this is my dream come true.
What?
My biggest fan.
I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have talent.
Together and accomplish it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yes. Well, she already has it all typed up, and that's the hardest part.
I just think it's just a hobby.
Well, sure, it's enjoyment.
It's really
Very bright.
I really like it.
I really appreciate that.
No, but you should think of this. I already wrote that to you that you should publish it.
Yeah. I'm gonna read some. You read some of her poems, right?
She's one of the best fans.
I'm gonna read some now about Bubbie.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
I mean,
good.
It's interesting because Phyllis used to write poetry. And it's totally different from the poetry. You always have to rhyme, you know. And that's not in anymore. So she said that, yeah, I liked Alice's poetry, but it's different. You know, she said,
That's so funny. She supported me. I love that. I like it, but it's different. You know, at the end, like the last few years, she was like, "I'm not writing any more poems." And she used to write it for our birthdays all the time. But then she kept writing though. She couldn't help herself. I saved all of them, all of my cards, my birthday cards with her poems. I love them. They were such cute poems.
everything for herself. And
I know.
where is her grave, by the way?
Oh, we're going there right now.
I thought that where are you coming from?
We were going Auntie Evelyn. So yeah. How's the cottage?
It was great. You know, we didn't spend all that much time because of COVID, you know, because I had COVID.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We missed the several weeks.
Oh.
First week and
Oh, well, thankfully you guys seem like you're all better, which is great.
yeah, but now we will have another week before we are going to dance the end of the month.
Really?
Yeah, there is a international string quartet competition that we go
Wow. Wow. How far is it from you?
to. 4 hours from the plane.
Oh, wow. It's
Yeah. In the flight.
Well, still with the COVID restrictions. Enough we're gonna list them soon, I suppose. Had to register.
Yeah, Alexandria. Hi, Greg. How you doing? Good, good. You? Oh, the group is growing. Altman! Altman! Got the Nashes? It's the Zoom. Guys, I was so excited to see you. I was waiting. I'm so sad you weren't here for Shabbos. What? What's happening? Yes, but I'm now. I'm gonna be back in Israel again. I live in. Oh, I was in America. I was in Israel. I was in Israel. Wait. Oh. Wait, you were in Jersey, right? Right. Oh, I heard in President. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you know the alts. Yeah, yeah. I mean, wait, you were in president before the alts. Yeah. Wait, I don't understand. We're doing an unveiling, but there's no tombstone.
Well, we're unveiling the plaque.
That. You need a magnifying glass. Comedian. It's only like 3 people. Is Gil on? Cover one eye. What is it, a box for air? Wow, it is so hot. I hope the clouds cover. I'm sure, yeah. It's gonna be, I guess we're gonna have another unveiling. All right, let's go. Bye-bye. And then when you read your poem, give it to me. That's my dad. You're probably not wrong. It is hot. That's why you're in charge of Zoom. Hey, baby. Guys excited for kebab later? Ready to party. Yeah, that's good. They have really good food. What? Oh, they have a lot of vodka. Marcy brought a lot. Last night, our cousin Marcy, you know her, Marcy Hall? She brought $400 worth of alcohol for like 10 people. Nobody. Sorry.
Did you drink a half a bottle of wine?
Oh, we should have. Plum Royale. Plum Royale.
Welcome everyone.
I'm so not making my phone. So hyper. I'm excited. Yeah, we're very close.
As we can see, we came here for the unveiling, but even though we don't have the stones, we still pay the same respects here, and we could still take the lesson for what's the idea of having a tombstone. So I just want to take a few short moments to explain the significance of a tombstone and of visiting a cemetery, which we're all doing here, even though we don't have a tombstone here, technically. So in Judaism, we see 3
like everything in Judaism, it's very paradoxical. We see a paradoxical and conflicting 3 different names for cemeteries. The simple name we usually are very familiar with, called a cemetery or Beit HaKvarot, which means a place of burial, place of tombstone. There's another name that's called Beit Olam, a house, a home of eternity. And then there's a third name called Beit HaChayim, the house of the living. Now this seems very contradictory. Is it a place of burial or it's a place of living or eternity? So what's the meaning behind these 3 different names? The way we define death is by first defining what life is. There's different types of life. If one's life is just physical, just about living a good here physically, enjoying life physically, then when it comes, like there's a famous saying, Yogi Berra, it ain't over until it's over. But at the cemetery, it's over. It means representation of life, it's all done. Then it's a cemetery. Then it's the home of the burial. We say goodbye. It was good when it was good, but now we move on. If one's life is imbued with spiritual values, spirituality is eternal. Our soul is eternal. The body is interred when a person passes away, but the soul continues to live on in the spiritual life. All its values, all accomplishments that it does, lives on in a spiritual realm. So then it's a home of eternity. That's the second name. Beit Olam, a home of eternity. But then there's a third name, and that's why we're all here today. The third name is Beit HaChayim, the home of the living. Who's the living? We are the living. But is this our home or the home of the deceased? And the answer is, when a person lives a life not just for himself, but he has a sphere of influence around him, which everyone has influence on, whether it's their family, friends, acquaintances, then the legacy that they leave behind are the people that are living, that were influenced and inspired by their example. Then the soul of the departed is living on here in this physical world through the survivors that continue to live on by their inspiration and example. And that's why we're here today, not just to pay tribute to a special person, but to connect to her, what we learned from her. It's for the living. And she, Phyllis, is lived on by us all. Children, grandchildren, friends, all that were inspired by her life, we're living on and she is living on within us. And that's why we're here today, to kind of reflect of true meaning of value of life. That it's not just for physical gratification, it's more of spiritual values. These are eternal. This is what she taught us. She taught us the real values of life. And that's why we're here today, not just to pay tribute to her, but really how we could improve our life in understanding the real meaning of life. And that's why it's called Beit HaChayim, the house of the living. So may we all merit, hope we can meet with her physically when Mashiach is going to come. Part of the tenets of Jewish belief is that everyone is going to be resurrected. We're going to see her also physically. And until then, we could still live on and connect to her through all the mitzvahs, all the good things that we do through her legacy. And now I'd like to call upon some of the family members, say a few words. We'll start with Mordechai, his brother.
AKA Uncle Mati or Mati.
Or
Moti.
Mozzarella.
I think how's worse. All right. What I want to say is that Phyllis left a very strong and powerful legacy. It's exactly what Rabbi is saying. She left it with that we are the ones who carry on her legacy. And I wasn't sure if I should give you a little history of our family, because where did Phyllis, not only was she loving and caring to her family, but she was loving and caring to Judaism, to the values that she felt very strongly about Judaism.
Very strong.
And I wonder, and where do we get these values? And we get them from our grandparents, because we're really, Phyllis and I are in the generation where we express what we learned from our grandparents to our children and grandchildren, so they can carry on the same very important values. So what are the values of Judaism? And the values of Judaism, from what I can understand, is My father was a poultry dealer. In other words, we went down to the corporation where they would sell the chickens, and then when I was 5 years old, I would go with them, and there was a shoyhet there, and I couldn't, it was really interesting to see why there's a shoyhet who says a blessing when he has to slaughter the chicken for our sustenance. And to me, that is a reflection of the basic Judaic expression and value of the sanctity of life. We not only love life, we put it into a sacred position, and that's what makes us different than many other cultures. But the other thing we want is not just value and love and caring. We want to. Judaism also expresses a learning, that you want to learn. And that's why we go to shul, and that's why we go to cheder, to learn the values that our forefathers and sages taught us over close to 4,000 years, which to me is mind-boggling. The third value, not only you learn, you love life, but you also with that learning, you become creative, inventive, innovative, and you contribute to your community and your society in general. To me, that's why Jews have so many people in the Nobel Prizes, because they are the creative with those values. They're free to become creative and contributing. So the Jewish values that Phyllis has left all of us, that's what I want to express to our family, to carry on those values that she learned from our grandparents. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Dad?
Sure. I'll gather some thoughts. I did not prepare anything
Winging it.
because I just wanted to speak from the heart. And I'd say what's really most special right here, right now, is everybody that's here. I can see the relationship that everybody had with my mom. She was tough, right? Okay. But
high standards.
She can also be incredibly loving and giving and passionate. Definitely passionate. And it's just that's, to me, right here, right now, that's what's really special. So thank you all for coming.
No, that's all true.
He'll be back.
There's more to it, but that's all true.
I will say that she paid attention. She paid attention to her kids. When you talked, she listened and paid attention. She would remember and build from what she heard so she could compile the story she was building. But she also paid attention to food, flavor, presentation. So these all came to be different parts of the family. We have the food section. We have the pay attention section. We have the judge the food section. Right? But we also have the listening and building the picture as it grows and complicates with people. And that to me is one of the most important values. People, I feel I really got that. I think Marla and I have that. When people say, people will talk and then I'll give little synopsis. Yeah, I can know. And it's from that paying attention, listening, and remembering. So I want to give tribute to that because I think it really spread out in the family.
I, as the youngest, I feel I got to spend the most time with my parents. And what I learned from them and a lasting legacy is we were really fortunate. We were really in a home that was loving, caring, supportive, and devoted to what it meant to be really great parents. And each of us carries that through us now in who we are and what we do and how we interact with people and our family members. So the things that come to my mind that both my parents were really committed to was giving back, showing their appreciation and their gratitude. And they instilled that upon us. So all of us are very aware of pillars of Judaism, and that's charity, philanthropy, and being in gratitude for what we have. Because unfortunately, all of us tend to take things for granted. And they always took a step back. My mom, of course, with her daily devotion to the religion and the praying, and my dad in his very open and loving and giving communicative way. So if you ever got a compliment from my dad, raise your hand. He basically didn't know how to be with people without giving and loving and spewing positive on an ongoing basis. That's really who he was. And my mom complimented him so well because she had the big picture, as Ellen referred to. So it really was, as you know, a great and loving relationship. And I think I can speak on behalf of my two siblings as well, will forever be grateful for the legacy that they created and what we shall continue to carry on to our generations. As my mom was very fortunate to be a grandmother of 8 and a great grandmother of 6. So we have the proof in the pudding, as they say. And Midor Lador, be healthy.
Share. I wrote like a bunch of poems. I'm gonna share all the story. Like a bunch of different thoughts and poems throughout the year about like Bubbie and just like the experience of grief and things like that. And I'm gonna share 5 short ones, and to be like build a story of just like what I felt this year, and also just values and different things that I felt about Bubbie. And yeah, so okay, I'll try to read slow. Okay, so this is the first one.
Bubbie would say, make sure you enunciate, Allison.
Okay.
It's not our ears, you have to enunciate.
As the numbers raced down, I stood at your side, watched pinks and purples turn beige, lose their color. The life of you flew out of you. I sang, I spoke, damn, I even fought. But it was all just one big, convoluted goodbye. The last time I hugged you, I hoped it wouldn't be the last one. But alas, God had other plans. We are lost by your side as the numbers plummeted and you left the room. I took up my right hand and we said the Shema. I just think about it, watching you in pain, in that bed, crying, saying to you, I'm happy for the time we spent together. Oxygen, breathing, air, goodbye. I ran my, next poem. I mean, they're really creative writing. I ran my hand over treasures of purple cards and tiny replicas of everyday things. They sit afar, talking about you, but I can't help run my fingers over what's left of a big house to a little house to this room. Funny how life gets tinier, 4 inches shrunken. Your world slowly became the comings and goings of our family. Okay, next piece. I totally agree that grief changes you forever. That familiar knock on the door will never be opened again. We have to live with the memory and not with the tangible, real thing that we once held so dear. Memories that can be torches or shadows, depending on the moment, a door sealed shut, a portrait hung up, and I look upon it wistfully, with tears in my eyes, and think about what I would give for one more moment. Grief changes your heart, teaches so many lessons, becomes a part of who you are at your very core. The ones we allow ourselves to love are the ones we will miss the most, are the ones that even in death teach us even more about the road of life. Okay, number 4. Once I sat at a table full of smiling faces I have known for so long, since I was born, since I could speak, since I could cry. And I look upon them all, and I knew we were here because of you, because we love you, because love is like adhesive glue. It tangles us together, connects our hearts. Sometimes we are up, standing at the zenith, dancing in waterfalls, singing to crescendos, smiles that light up the world, and sometimes we are so low, guitars off key, sluggish legs, mold festering in the heart, old and rusty, disregarded and unwanted by ourselves. And still, we drag ourselves over to that table to stare at our family, and we feel the scars, the pain, the fresh wounds we inflicted on each other. Silently, we sit at this table. It's a standstill. It's a halt. It's anger, it's fear, and then someone breaks the ice. And we cry and we laugh and we cry and we laugh. The emotions erupt like a tornado, and the conductor lifts his baton, and we fall into each other's arms, because this is our North Pole that always pulls us home. From across galaxies and lifetimes, we come home. Okay, last one. Lights the dance. The fancy 2-step. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Falling behind, but then he dips her head and she's back in line. Up and down, left and right, a delicate balance of love and diligence. The pace picks up, feet shuffle, running to stay in beat, and then she trips. He gives her a hand, and they return to the rhythm. Slow and steady now, she rests her head upon his chest, up and down, left and right. Now it's just her. He is long gone. Can she bear to move those feet? Slowly, she remembers the song, hums along, twirls her dress. She goes and goes. In a circle now, hand in hand, she is not alone. Up and down, left and right. Weakness overtakes her. She braces herself. She knows this is it. One last dance till they turn out the light. Magnificently, she takes the floor. With grace, she sways. With grace, she sways her way to the edge of the door. Goodbye, she waves. The dance is done. Up and down, left and right. That's the dance of life.
Anyone else who wrote poems?
I didn't write a poem. I was asked to say something, and I also too want to speak from the heart. In case some of you don't know me, I'm Terry Urovitz. Fanny is my mom, who was Phyllis's younger sister, and my Aunt Phyllis and I had a very, very special relationship as aunt and niece. She was like a surrogate mother to me in many ways. And Ellen, what you said about her paying attention, that was probably what I got the most from her, was attention when I really needed it. She listened. She would allow me to speak my truth. And there were times where we didn't agree about certain things. One particularly being mixed marriages. And my Aunt Phyllis had a very devout belief that marriage should be Jewish to another Jew, Jew to Jew, and not be intermarried. And I know that caused some surus in our family along the way, and that was unfortunate. That was an unfortunate thing. But I came to realize that when somebody is so devout in their beliefs, it doesn't matter what you say to them, it's how you behave. And the behavior has to be respectful, because people believe what they believe, and it doesn't matter what you say to them, you will never change their minds. We don't control other people, we only control ourselves. So the best that we can do to honor
Auntie Phyllis, to honor Uncle Sherwood, who was so generous in spirit, is to be truthful, to be authentic. And ironically, I brought one of my special stones here that says gratitude that I'm putting on the headstone, along with a beautiful rose quartz, a purple amethyst, and a couple of very special stones from Israel. And I just want to thank everybody for coming here and honoring Auntie Phyllis. We are coming from all different places, and what you said earlier, Uncle Mati, is so true. It's about community. It's about passing on legacy. And even though I don't have children of my own, the things that I've collected from Boo Boo and Sissy, our grandparents along the way, are going to be passed back to the families. So those items that I've treasured for many, many years are going to stay in the family to preserve that legacy, pardon me, and to always remember the strife and the courage that it took for them to come from Europe after what they endured. And we're so spoiled in North America, and in other parts of the world, we take so much for granted, as you said. And I think it's just so important to remember that no matter where we are in the world, we're blood, we're family, we're here for each other, even if it means a text or an email or a phone call if we can't be here together in person. So thank you, everyone, for coming and honoring Auntie Phyllis and honoring Uncle Sherwood and Auntie Melva as well. For a long time.
You're not that?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family, you know, the only gay one. You're already out there. Oh, I know. I brought you.
You're white sheep.
Needless to say, I talked about it,
Over 10 years. And the day that phone call came, I'll never forget it. Now, it's funny because the phone call came and I didn't even talk to her when it came. I was like, something's wrong. Somebody must have died because my aunt's calling me and I haven't talked to her in 10 years. And I listened to the message and it said, I just want to let you know I love you. And it doesn't matter anymore. And you're allowed in my home. And you're in my heart. And you know, I'm blessed that I got to spend her last birthday together. And she met my partner. And, you know, it helps, I think, that she's a nice Jewish girl, of course. But, you know, I mean, for what it took her to make that call, it literally brought us all back together. I mean, I have my family back because of my Aunt Phyllis. You know, that wouldn't happen. My brothers didn't get that. So I'm grateful. I really am. And I know that she's, you know, watching over all of us every day. So well, you and me both, buddy. I mean, I could have done without Howard, but the rest.
This is like another sibling rivalry. You gotta watch them talking to each other. Howard's the brother I always wanted. I didn't want the one I got. You're right. You're right. Even the brother I always had, no matter what, anyway. He always watched out after me.
Remember always the nation of instructing, admonishing, but always with humor and love. And I know the role she played in the family, and I'm thankful for the mishpocha we have. Love you.
Yeah, we have such great fond memories of visiting our cousins and Phyllis and Sherwood in Buffalo, especially for the holidays, Passover, driving with Papa, not Papa,
And surviving.
Yes, and he did say that religion was a racket, but I guess it's generally.
That's what he used to say. The biggest racket.
But I think she really appreciated that of Aaron, especially that he had found religion and is gonna carry on for the rest of us, repopulate the world. But yeah, we weren't that religious growing up, but seeing how Phyllis was able to have that in her home with Sherwood allowing it all, not as active but very supportive. It was so great to see them together and to have time with our cousins, and it's amazing that we're still close and we see each other when we can. COVID has put a damper in that, but it's coming back. Does anybody have it? No.
Not test kit, just in case.
But yeah, Phyllis is always special. One of my favorite aunts next to Ben. But she always had a special place in my heart, and I think my family as well.
Well, I mean, I don't. Of course, he was super special to our family, you know, coming to Teaneck in 2004, especially. And we were just so fortunate to be able to spend, you know, almost like the last 20 years with her. When the kids were younger, she was in Buffalo, we were, you know, New Jersey, and it was just so great that, you know, we got to be together, you know, live our similar values and keep her life going in the similar values. And that was really a big goal of ours that kept us all together. You know, we miss her in the house. We think of her all the time. Loved her, and you know, I had great parents, and I was really fortunate to get great in-laws that brought even more good qualities and strength to me, and that's very fortunate. Thank you.
She loved you.
Oh yeah. I knew it. I said there's gonna be a second round. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, he's gonna come back.
Two quick follow-ups. Number one,
That's what happens when you don't plan a speech.
the family got together because Marla got married and was moving out of the house. And now Mom would be alone in that house, and it wasn't the best situation, especially as she would get older. And we were looking ahead, and we were trying to figure out next steps. And my wife said, she can live in our house. And I'm like, what? So that's how she got to our house, and it was a blessing. Thank God.
You guys, what is the biggest mitzvah? What we did was they recreated Auntie Phyllis and Uncle Sherwood's bedroom, the same color, shape, style, furniture. It was like it was transported from Park Street into New Jersey, and it was amazing.
The other one I want to say is somehow I thought of when they would come and visit. I'd say, Mom, it's good. You could stay a couple more days. Maybe they came for a week, 10 days. She goes, no, this is right. It's good to leave while you're still walking.
But then she stayed for 10 years. Oh, we got here.
And I just want to conclude by saying that my mom was a wonderful sister to her sister. They were 10 years apart, but you could never tell. They were the most opposite that you could possibly imagine, but it never came between them. And we're sorry that Auntie Fanny is not with us today.
It came between them for a little bit, but like Marcy said, the wisdom prevailed.
Right. The wisdom prevailed, and it was really a special lifeline for her. Their calls and their connection, and we're thinking of you, Auntie Fanny, because we know you'd like to be here today, and we're sorry that Auntie Lola is not here as well. Thank you for all for coming. And
Okay, take your prayers, Howard.
Yeah, Rabbi Howard, he fits right in, doesn't he?
I'm gonna
looking for?
look at that sweat. It's the beard.
What's that?
Look at you.
All the beards over here.
Bearded dragons. He's got eyes. What are we doing? Oh.
Good poems. Fine poems. The first one made me cry. That's why I lost it. It was too much. But it was, no, it was good. I liked it. But that was good. Already,
Even I saw the face outside. Lay sides and half. Design. It does. It is a custom. There's a psalm, the longest psalm in the whole psalm, 119, where it has for each letter of the alphabet 8 verses. So there's a custom established by the gravestone to say the letters corresponding to our Hebrew name. So our Hebrew name was Falsa. So let's say the letter started with Pei, Aleph, Lamed, Kuf, Aleph, and then the letters of Neshama. So Howard, you want to go to page 40. It's in Sophia test. Why not see it up there?
I used to say that every single day. As long as it wrong. Mama, did you just pass it? Oh, no. I thought that's what the action. And then I can't do this anymore.
Rambini et Kukasa, Alge, Ayim, Purdue, Nai, Alvo, Shamru, Tarata.
24.
They are
Hours.
Ryan?
Almost like 2 hours. So. After me,
Mom, you're in charge of making sure we still remember.
In the presence. In the presence.
extra alpha many at all lama. The lama من هاي الضعفة دي تبقى شمال. الجواب ده مسافة
Okay, this is the last for Polka.
Actually,
You should read in English for Bubbie. Almost there. Just one more word. You're just there and just together. You instructed to straighten your hair. Yeah, she said.
Right. It's like a hit. I don't care that she really college is so I was just gonna say college is not I'm not visual now. I work in it's not yeah, I know. My husband still has like a year left. I'm like, I don't even get into it. Like people are trying to realize like it's around. In some college, but it's like I just how much I do OT, right? How much ridiculous stuff did I learn? Really, just I'm not connected. It's years. You lose years when you actually learn what you're doing. Right? You probably had very practical pirates. We have going to specialization. She's always wanted to.
Howdy. Bring them over.
But like when I learned how to list the college, I learned artists. No, calculus is different art. We watched the movie Alien in art class. I wrote a paper in English class and art paper. It's also like if I want to learn which way. It's also like who you're learning from. That's also important.
Yoma Divra, Savior, Lichma Kute, Yatsmach, Urkanev, Ikarev, Mishife, Bechon, Ubiomechon, Uchaye, Defabe, Yisrael, Bagalav, Isman, Kariv, Imru, Amen. Yehei Say Rabba Mavarach, V'Olam, V'Ela, Maya, Yitbarach, V'Shtabach, V'Ba'ar, V'Troman, V'Naseh, V'Yitadar, V'Yitaled, V'Yitalal, Shemek V'Rasha, V'Richu. Leila, Mikol, Rafata, V'Shirata, Tushpata, V'Nefamata, Damiram, V'Yamah, V'Imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chayim Tovim, Aleinu, V'Yalkol Yisrael, V'Imru, Amen. Say shalom, B'Ramav, we are say shalom, Aleinu, V'Yalkol Yisrael, V'Imru, Amen. Our service today.
But if you would like to go hang out with fun, you
Or if you have any more glasses you could put on, you could have 3 glasses.
Not everybody can. It's cool. It's 2.
And then we will have a gathering with to nourish our souls with both food and drink and hydrating, and because we're Jewish.
And celebrate the lives of our loved ones.
yeah, peacock number 2.
All right.
Oh, stop.
Alpha selfie by the grave. We need a good. I'm looking for a good rock. Here's 2. You can come back.
I don't know when I'll be back around.
Here's more.
It's on the camera. Something wrong.
I think these are concrete.
Everyone. Oh.
Asphalt.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Where am I going with this? So that's asphalt. Well, it's not the real headstone. You put it around the little plaque, but don't walk on the body. Oh.
Take it out of the but you can put it back in.
Oh, so these are not rocks.
Those are concrete.
Oh no, I think this one's rock. I got one. Also, there's one right there that's not on a stone. Well, it fell, so.
Who wants a bigger rock?
I don't try.
Oh, we got nice size rocks.
Oh, I just found a really good one hidden.
Down the other stones.
It's what's that Jenga?
Perfect size.
Well, that was the asphalt one. So.
I'm gonna put this in instead. Who saw my wipeout? Anyone here?
We're gonna look at the Zoom recording after.
Yeah. I broke something, so I'm very grateful that I didn't.
Mom, are you looking for a rock? Oh, there's so many here. Look at that one. Well, that's too big. I know.
So he's 10 anyhow. Finally got to make his film. And his producer went AWOL, so Leora is coming in at the last minute to help with the final production. But her friend, his name is James Jerry. They were best friends since before.
All right. Goodbye, everyone on Zoom. We're leaving. If you're still there.
Oh,
Bye.
well,